Hello and welcome to Tabletalkers, Dissolution of Magic. I am joined here today by Thaddeus, who is going to be playing.
I'm playing Div. Hi, my name's Thaddeus. Probably recognize by now.
Yeah. Okay. We get started in a not so small cave in a not so small mountain range under the control. Drop something, sorry. Under the control of a not so young dragon. What are you currently doing, Div? Please describe yourself.
Depends on what the time of day is.
Maybe morning.
Div is a 2 foot tall kobold, 2 foot 5 inches, with black scales, black fingernails. I don't know how to describe him. Blue eyes. So
that's
typical
a stark
kobold
contrast.
It is. It's to show that he is different.
All right.
So, depending on the time of day, I probably would be meandering about, probably looking for something to eat.
Like I said, it's early morning. You and your brood would have just woken up and are getting prepared more or less for your daily worship.
In case, definitely not eating. I'll eat afterwards.
Well, that's the part of daily worship.
Mm-hmm.
Big meal, big offering type thing. Your dragon has been at least known to you and your kind as much more benevolent than normal. A lot of talk of other kobold clans of their dragons being ruthless and war-mongering individuals. Your dragon is more laid back, reserved, and treats his followers with a modicum of respect. Very much different from other dragons. But if you break his rules, he is very much okay with eliminating you as well.
Essentially, do not spite him if I want to remain alive.
Yeah, that's pretty much how all of your people have kind of learned how things work. Follow the rules, you don't die. Don't follow the rules, you're dead. Easy enough.
Simple enough rules. If we're preparing for a daily worship, I don't know if I need to go get myself dressed or not in any sort of specific outfit.
Remember?
I would go find something more respectful because that is a... Mm-hmm.
Kobolds are feral. More or less. Not feral, but primitive. So, extravagant clothing does not really exist.
Mm-hmm. But worship clothing is better than walking around naked.
Well, you're not naked. You wear clothing, but it's not like I have ceremonial robes for this express purpose. Like the best you're gonna come up with is like a type of tribal war mask type, but that's specifically deigned for the chief and or shaman of your group, which you are neither currently. Make sense?
Right. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, no, it's, again, very, very much dragon fine with pretty much anything. He's even told the chieftain and the shaman both, like, you do not have to dress like this. I do not care. I just like it that you bring me food and I don't have to go out and hunt for it. Like, I really don't care. But sorry, go ahead.
Carry on.
Making your way toward the central chamber where the dragon and his horde rests, you see him as he is standard, resting on his horde. He perks his head up and kind of blinks his eyes as if just waking up and realizes, oh, it's that time again. And you see another whole slew of kobolds, younger kobolds, bring in a massive cauldron and just start throwing random shit into it. Any kind of mushrooms they can find, any kind of meat, human or otherwise, I'll be honest. Anything that they could find that would be a worthy offering to their dragon and worthy enough for them to eat as well, they're just kind of throwing it in there into this, for lack of a better term, melting pot. And then your dragon, or at this point your god, just leans over the cauldron and just kind of drips a few drops of his acid into cauldron, and the kobolds pour in another type of mixture and just start stirring, turning everything in that cauldron into a soup. After a while, and after heat has been applied to bring it to a low boil, more of a simmer, I would assume, but it heats it up a little bit. It is then allowed, or the dragon is then offered this cauldron, and the dragon takes a taste of it, approves, and then all the kobolds divvy out small portions from themselves, leaving the majority for the dragon to consume. Again, because your dragon is as old as he is, he has everybody line up in single file, eldest to youngest. And everybody gets the same bare portion, depending on their needs and whatnot. Like, any female kobolds that are expecting to lay eggs soon are given a little more than a male is, and warriors are given a little more, depending on if they've been in a recent fight and need to recover or not, some such therein. You would be given a little bit more because you were recently part of a war party. No injuries suffered so much because you were outnumbering them 10-1, for lack of a better term. But
it's kind of a reward.
Correct.
For a job well done.
You did good. You brought back food and more riches for your god. So they give you a little bit bigger of a portion than the other.
Look, my bowl in. Go off. Go enjoy my soup.
You see,
I have to give him my proper respect, of course.
Well, of course, like everybody, upon getting their food, bows, and the dragon just kind of nods and go about your. While sitting down and eating your food, a bunch of people start coming around you and asking you all these questions about the fighting and all that stuff. How do you respond to that?
The only way that feels appropriate, by spinning a tall tale and giving the story of how I not single-handedly, but how I led this battalion to do whatever it was that we did.
At this point, at this juncture, you would have probably attacked a small caravan, like just a one wagon caravan carrying different kinds of fruits and vegetables that you would have left to rot because ew.
Who needs vegetables?
Exactly.
Ugh.
Who needs vegetables when you have shrooms?
But I brought lots of shinies.
Yes.
That's all that I care about, and I will highlight that as much as I can.
Fair enough. You regale these younglings with your tales, and they stare starry-eyed. And once satisfied, they run off and start telling the same tale to their parent, or guardian, or some such there. Because when eggs are laid in a kobold village, the clutch is kind of just all put in the same room with one or two individuals watching over the clutch. And no one really knows which one's which, or whose father's who, or whose mother's who, and all that kind of stuff, because the clutch all hatches at roughly the same time eventually.
Takes a village to raise.
You at this stage would be the part of the fifth or sixth clutch to serve the dragon currently. Keeping in mind how old your people get. So currently your brood has been serving the dragon for roughly 600 years, give or take. You have seen. How old is your character currently?
I am 10 years old.
Okay, so you have seen one extra brood hatch and another egg cluster be laid in your time, but they have not hatched yet.
Actually, I'm just talking to the kids who were born right after me.
Pretty much. You are talking to the seventh clutch. Correct. The eighth is on its way. It should from what you understand, the egg should hatch this summer, and it is spring current.
Not that long left.
But while you're eating, after the children run off back to their parents, you see the dragon wave his hand at or his claw, I guess I should say, at the chieftain and shaman, and they rush over, and you see them muttering amongst themselves. And then after a while, the dragon and shaman both gesture at a few people in the crowd, one of which is you, and then they go back about their business after roughly an hour or so of communication.
Except they gesture towards like a couple people to me. Is that like gesturing me over, telling me to go over there, or just? They
look like they're talking about something, and in that talk about the thing they're talking about, they are gesturing to multiple different people as to point out who that individual is to the dragon.
Is there anything I can make out?
You can make a perception check if you wish to try to divvy some words out.
Try. That was a total 2 on the die.
Yeah.
7.
No, you don't make anything out.
I'm too busy telling my tales, telling my stories.
And this slop today is pretty good. Any day where human meat is added is a pretty good day.
Get it so rarely.
Humans are a pain in the ass to deal with. That is correct. But you can thank none other than your personal group for bringing them in. Because finding that caravan was very, very good. But time passes and it moves on into the mid-morning, almost noon time as the celebration happens. And God damn it. And as things progress, people just start going about their daily lives, normal things here and there. the party that you went off with yesterday to procure things from the caravan comes back over to you and says, I see. You're done eating. Do you wish to prepare for another raid?
Of course, I'm gonna go another raid.
What do we raid this time?
You know, any orcs, humans, maybe?
Goblins moved.
That's upsetting.
Haven't seen humans in a while.
Anything else nearby?
There's talk of elf, but elf are bad. Ugh. Fancy. Bad.
The meat is so stringy.
Gamey, even.
Let's never get used to it. Maybe those just hunts and boars. It's boring, but it's something.
That's not a raid, that's hunting. I want a raid. I heard talk that there's dwarves mining out part of the mountain where we are. Or they don't know we're here yet.
That's not a bad idea to me.
They and people say that dwarf make you drunk when you eat it.
What is drunk?
Another kobold will chime up. One of the older ones will chime up and say, "Here, drink this."
Just handing me a random copper bowl.
More like a flagon. Not a flagon. Flat, not flask. What the fuck's the word? Skin, water skin.
Mm-hmm.
That's. Hands you more a water skin type thing.
What's this? Water?
No.
No.
Drink.
Take a sip.
The liquid burns your tongue and throat as it goes down.
What is this?
Dwarf call it alcohol. Got it from a dwarf.
Alcohol.
Yes.
Burns.
Yes.
But it's not that bad.
Make a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
Natural 20. Ugh.
Okay, I was about to say, how bad is it?
I was looking for my dice.
Oh, that's fair.
If they're off in the corner.
Natural 20, you pass with flying colors. But it does still burn your stomach and doesn't seem to mix well with the acid that was already in your stomach from the food you just ate.
Wait. I hope that doesn't feel good. That doesn't feel good at all. Ugh.
I mean, it's just a little bit of like minor indigestion. That's it. Am I cutting out, by the way?
Yes, before. No.
Okay, because I'm looking at the ring around my name and it looks like I'm cutting out. Sorry.
I'm not that old. It's my first time trying it. I might not have dealt with indigestion before. I'm not to this degree, at least.
And not like this, because this is kind of bubbly indigestion, which is weird, but you have dealt with like a heartburn type thing. Because you've like, ooh, that's a red thing. We should eat it. Not knowing that's a chili pepper.
Ooh, that's a colorful mushroom.
Yeah, eat it. Why is my mouth on fire? That kind of thing has happened before, many times in fact. But like bubbly, weird indigestion thing, like, ooh, what the fuck? This has never happened.
You're just saying dwarves taste like this?
No,
I'm handing back the water skin, by the way.
no, they don't taste like that. They give you the same effect that does when drank in excess. Excess.
What do eggs have to do with... How do eggs change their taste?
I don't know. I just heard dwarf say it. Don't drink in excess.
Dwarves are weird. They're just weird.
All folk have funny words, okay? I know understand.
I just feel like I'm shorter than a dwarf.
Dwarves are medium-sized creatures, so yes.
I just realized I'm shorter than a dwarf.
You want to know something better?
What's that?
You're shorter than a halfling. Get that out of my screen. Get that off of the screen. Oh my god. Ugh. Anyway.
Well, I've never had dwarf before, so...
None of us have had dwarf before. We thought they were gone. But apparently the dragon's worried about, mining caves mining into this place.
Can they get here?
Supposedly the mountain that's connected to ours is where some of them live. And they're doing mining things, and the dragon says there's a chance they might mine into here, and if they do, they're gonna die anyway, but he doesn't want there to be another entrance to the cave, besides, well, you know, the big one. And that one, of course, but we don't talk about that one because we can't get up there. And he just points up at the big hole in the top of the cave where sunlight shines in. And where you've seen the dragon fly out before.
So we don't go through that hole. No one goes through that hole. Besides the dragon, of course.
Well, he's the only one that can, or we would go through that hole too. We've seen wyverns come in from that hole, but then the dragon roared and they went, what the hell? Anyway.
You want to go raid some dwarves?
Let's go find him and raid some dwarves.
Yeah, let's go raid some dwarves.
Yeah.
All
Alright.
What it tastes like.
Roll me, as you wander around raiding for dwarves, roll me a survival check.
Survival check. That's not what I roll today. 15.
Well, be glad you're a folk here, because you get proficiency.
Yeah.
15?
15.
After a while, you start seeing footprints, like in like the dust of the bottom of the cave system that you're in, that look like human boot prints, but they're the I'm gonna use the word gape because this is DM to Thaddeus talking.
Yeah.
The gape isn't the same as what a human's would be. Like a human has a very large gait to their walk. These are very stubbed, shorter. What you doing?
Are these are just young humies around here?
I mean, they got big feet, so maybe? I don't know. I've never seen Huey children.
Maybe these are those dwarves.
Maybe. Ooh, dwarf. I forgot dwarf. I forgot that's what we were here for.
Yeah, I forgot as well. I thought we were just looking for humies. Let's just follow these.
Keep in mind, you have a group of about 15 kobolds wandering around with you in the caves.
I'm just gonna gather them around to start following the tracks.
Oh, they're just following you because they don't know how to track.
I'm just following the dwarves' tracks. I think they're dwarves.
Before you started tracking things, the kobolds just went, I'm gonna sit on the road and wait for things to happen. And half the time, nothing ever happened.
That was one of the things I was going to suggest. And they said they wanted to go raid something.
Just sit on the road and
Sit
wait.
on the road, wait for a cart or something to come by.
That's what we did yesterday. That's boring. It took all day. No.
We got footprints.
But
I think.
now following these footprints, you start hearing further and further down into this cave system the tink, tink, tink noise.
It's going to turn around. Shh. Quiet.
And as you turn around to go, shh, quiet, they progressively get louder, each one behind you going, shh, quiet.
Yep, that's what I expected.
The tinking stops, by the way. What do you do?
Are we in Greece by any chance? Or
What?
forest area? I don't know what's around us.
You're not a ranger, first of all.
I'm not doing ranger things.
Okay, no, you're in
I
a
just
cave.
want to know if we like hide behind bushes.
No, you're in a cave system in a mountain.
Nah. I'm just slowly gonna go forward, peek around corners.
Well, right now it's just a straight line, more or less, with a little bit of curve to it, but keeping your distance and trying to stay as quiet as possible. Roll me a stealth check, first of all.
Waiting for the people to come back.
I'm gonna roll a stealth check for your other 15 kobolds as well. Okay.
Stealth is a 24, I think. No, that's not the right number. I'm doing math wrong. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Take your time. I'm good.
23.
Okay. Your buddies rolled a
22.
Your buddies rolled a 4.
Okay.
So, as you're being as sneakily as possible, you hear crashing rocks and quiet constantly. And the tinking never starts back up again. Or if it does, you can't hear it because all your buddies are loud as fuck.
Wonk, I'm just gonna stop and glare at them.
They don't notice you stop because they're yelling at each other and just bump into you and push you into the next section of the cave. Upon doing such, you see down the end, or down toward the end, about 60-ish feet away. First off, it's a dead end, but you see light and 3 short humies. Short and stout humies standing at the end of the cave.
They are humies.
And then, well, upon you saying that, the other kobolds rush in. One of them goes, "Holy crap, they're really short humies!" And the others kind of just agree. Keep in mind, this entire time you've been speaking in Draconic. Mind you.
Yeah, I figured.
Making sure.
I don't know if I would know common.
You would, but they wouldn't. So you just continue to speak in Draconic. Draconic's easier anyway. Brain stopped for a second. The short humies start yelling in a language that you've never heard before, and it's not common. But they don't look like they're wearing any kind of armor, and the only quote-unquote weapons you see are this thing that has 2 pointy ends and a stick going through the middle.
That's a weird weapon.
And a shovel, but
That I've seen before.
Yes. Yours are usually made out of wood, and they're for digging, well, dirty pits. This one's made out of metal and does not look dirty. So what'd you do?
I'm just going to wave and say in common, "Hi, Humies. Have you seen any the dwarves?" I don't know the common word for dwarves, so I'll just say in Draconic. Here.
Two of them will shout back in the language that you've never heard of before, or heard before, and then one of the older ones will just slap them both upside the head and shout back in common, "What do you mean, Humies?"
You're Humies, right? Short Humies, but Humies. You look like Humies.
In common, he'll go back, "You dumb lizard, we're dwarves." Actually, he'll say, "We're Durin folk," but...
Durin? What's a Durin?
Made from stone. Dwarves? Ring any bells?
Dwarves. Did I just bring a group of young kobolds with me? Would
What?
any of them relate the word dwarf in common to dwarf in Draconic?
Nope. You're the only one that speaks common, and that's it. I mean, he says they're not Humies, so maybe they're the dwarves you're looking for?
I don't know what dwarf is, but I'm looking for Draconic dwarves.
I don't know that word, lizard. I am a dwarf.
Why do you call me lizard? I'm not. Do I look like a lizard to you?
You have scales and a tail. Yes, you look like a lizard. The only difference is you walk on two legs. Which I've seen some lizards do in the desert.
That's rude.
Where did you come from?
I'm gonna ignore him for a minute. Turning to my kobold buddies. Do you think stone is tasty?
One of the kobolds just picks up a rock that's on the cave floor, bites it, and goes, "No, God."
Huh.
Another one picks up a different colored rock and licks it and goes, "Dirty. Yes. Gross." And after those two, the others follow suit and are just trying different kinds of rocks, biting them, licking them, breaking them apart and licking the insides of them, and all of them come back with a resounding, "No, ew, gross."
Yeah, I just held up a finger for the dwarf, by the way. Just to say I'm discussing something or something.
That's fine. They're still shouting at you.
So,
While you're doing this, they're still shouting at you.
No tasty?
I like this one. And he holds up like an orangish rock.
Let me see. Take it from in like that rock just to try it.
Because James doesn't know how to describe the taste of salt.
Salt.
It's like raw salt. Or saltpeter, or whatever you want to call it. Whatever it's called, I don't remember.
Saltpeter.
Yeah, it's the raw version of salt.
Okay, then hi, Stone Man. What are you doing here? Why?
We're not...
You said you were made from stone.
Our ancestors were stone-born.
So you're not made of stone?
No. Oh my. First, I asked you where you're from and why you're here, so it's rude to ask me the same question and not give me an answer. Secondly,
You asked a question? Oh, forgot.
Secondly, we're mining, clearly. Oh, boss,
What
boss.
is
Dwarves mine.
Dwarves mine?
Dwarves mine a lot. I think those are dwarves.
I thought you said you were draconic dwarves. But you mine.
I don't know what that
draconic
word
dwarves.
is. I am a dwarf in common. These guys are confusing.
I don't know common word for alcohol. So draconic alcohol. Do you drink?
You keep
alcohol?
speaking that language like we're gonna know what that is.
I don't know the word for it. It's hot and spicy and settles weird in your belly.
You talking about hot sauce?
Is it hot sauce? Could be
Something that's
sauce.
hot, that's spicy, that burns your belly?
It burns your tongue and mouth too.
You know, that sounds like hot sauce. Made from chilies, peppers,
I don't know.
red things.
It was in a flask. Someone gave it to me from.
Are you talking about
dwarves.
alcohol in common?
Do you drink this alcohol?
Yes, often. Why?
Then you're. Do you drink it with eggs? Or
What?
avoid drinking with egg or in eggs?
What?
Set.
Egg set? What? What? I don't understand what you're talking
I
about.
think these might be dwarves.
I think they're dwarves, boss. We should kill them. Eat them. Chop them up. Put them in a stew.
Yeah, go get them.
Got it. And they just rush in with their bone daggers. All the
Okay.
three dwarves that are there go, oh shit, and start picking up what little weapons they can find, which is just the pickaxes around. And about 5 of your kobolds go down before they are overwhelmed and stabbed to death. Got him.
Weird stone people.
They're not made of stone, boss. They got bones and blood
They
and
lied
meat.
to us? They lied to us.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What's this weird thing here, though? And he just pokes. Again, James speaking. A lantern. Why is it so bright?
It's a box? Did they sun? New sun?
It's a clear box, though.
Huh.
We should take it back to the dragon. I think he'll like it.
It's shiny. It's special so shiny, actually.
Yeah. That's what I'm
Definitely
saying.
like it.
It's really shiny. It's shinier than most things we brought.
But just take everything back. Including
Yeah,
the
yeah,
weird
yeah.
weapons that they've had that they didn't know how to use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the dead?
Of course we're taking them back. What do you think?
There.
What am I gonna do?
So 2 kobolds per dead dwarf, and 1 kobold per dead kobold, and the rest carrying random gubbins. Got it. You make your way back.
Some of those weird, tasty rocks.
Yeah. Of course. In the packs, you'll find weird rocks. Some are blue, some are like a reddish color, some are greenish. They're really weird. Some are very shiny though, and clear.
If they're shiny, then I want them.
Correct.
So I'm definitely taking them if they're shiny.
The red ones aren't shiny, but the blue and green ones are. The green ones are a little more dull, but like when you run any kind of water over it, it shines up immediately for a split second.
That qualifies as shiny to me. Do the red ones taste good?
No. They taste like blood, kind of.
Nah. The dragon might have a use for it.
Maybe. There's a lot more of the red ones than there are the blue and green ones, though.
Of course, I'm getting all the blue and green ones, and then say just fill up the rest of my space with the red ones later.
Oh, they're all in packs already.
Oh,
I'm just saying what's in those packs.
See, so they're all separated, or they just all in packs together?
They're kind of separated. There's 2 packs that are just red ones, and then the blue and green ones are kind of mixed into one pack. The blue ones are very, very shiny. And then a small sack is allocated for the clear shiny thing.
Take back as much of that as we can, and leave the rest to come back for later.
Oh, you can take everything. You have 10 kobolds plus yourself. You can grab everything here.
I forgot how many kobolds you said died.
Yeah. Only 5. So only a third of you died. You said they're not good with their weapon.
They don't know how to use good weapons. They only killed 5 of us.
Yeah.
And their weapons are sharper than ours.
Yeah, they're made of a weird material. Yours are like
easy.
Bone and stone. And you watched as they swung that, and the bone like knives that a lot of your men had just broke when it hit that. Just like snack.
So they had good weapons, but they did not use them right.
Correct.
These weird stone people that aren't actually stone were dumb.
Yes.
But they might be tasty, so we're taking them back.
Okay. Upon making it back, it is roughly toward the evening time now. You just barely make it back in time for quote-unquote dinner. This one isn't celebrated, but like it's 8. You still eat with the dragon because that's where the common eating area is, but you're not celebrating the dragon specifically. That's more of a morning ritual. And you only ever really do it with the dragon when he wakes up. Because he doesn't always wake up, but you always celebrate him, but he doesn't always wake up to celebrate with you. The dragon is still awake when you get back, and he sees all of you coming in with a lot of loot. And he gestures you to come over to him.
We're going to go present our spoils to them.
So, you said your name was Div, right?
Yes, it's Div.
Okay. So, Div, what has your party brought me this time?
We found some weird stone people not made out of stone. They call themselves, common word, dwarves. Or something like that. I don't know. And some shiny rocks.
Oh.
And they're real weird tools. Or weird rock tool things.
What kind of shiny rocks?
I'll just pull out the little clear rocks.
Oh. That's a good find.
One, and a blue one and a red one.
Those clear shiny rocks, they are uncut diamonds, my young friend. They're like these, and he'll hold up a cut diamond. Just unrefined. The blue rocks you have there are actually cobalt. They make decent weapons if forged properly. The green ones you have there are actually adamantine, which is a very rare material indeed. Harder than most and can resist most dragons' breath weapons. And the red ones are common items, or common iron. And the adamantine, yes, can resist most dragons' breath weapons. You have a higher chance of surviving if you hide behind a shield made of that material than you do if you don't hide behind a shield made of that material.
Oh. So, these are useful things for you?
In their current state, no. But I do appreciate them nonetheless. They are unrefined. I would have to have a blacksmith refine them properly to be useful. But I also see you brought back to the corpses of the dwarves, and I haven't had dwarf in a very long time. So that I am very grateful for.
He's speaking in Draconic?
Yes, the whole time.
These are dwarves? They said they were common word dwarves.
That is the same word. I know it sounds different, but it is the same.
I see. They wouldn't lie to us. Why did they say they're made out of stone?
There's a belief, an ancient tale or story, that the god of the dwarves made them out of a mountain, gave birth to them from a mountain or from the stone of said mountain. And many dwarves to this day believe that tale, and believe that that is why they are so proficient at mining, and why their love for gold and other precious materials are second to none save dragons.
They try to compare themselves to dragons?
Well, to be honest with you,
smart.
To be honest with you, a few thousand years ago, I participated in a war between dwarves and dragons.
And you easily won, right?
I lost many of my brethren, but eventually we did push them back. It was more of a draw than it was a win for either side. The dwarves were mighty in number, and we were few.
But these dwarves were so dumb.
Well, they weren't properly outfitted. They did not expect a raiding band of kobolds to attack them. I don't imagine. If they would have swords, you probably would have came back with a whole lot less men. Or not at all, even. And not all people you will find are warriors, mind you. Some are just workers. Like, look at the children. None of them are warriors yet. And they are easily dealt with, correct?
Right? They just need more training.
And to grow up. A lot of laborers or workers are the same. We do not send our normal folk or our brood leaders into battle. We send you warriors into battle, correct?
Yes.
So, there's your answer. Those were workers, miners.
I see. That's why they had these weird weapons as I pick one up.
They can be used as a weapon, but those are pickaxes, specifically designed to mine away at stone. And he just kind of takes a claw and hits the ground and chips away at the stone. Similar to that.
So they're replacement claws. They're fake claws.
No, they're not fake claws. They work similarly to that because of the point that they have.
I see. Okay. I think I understand.
Did you happen to find any alcohol on them?
Did we happen to find any alcohol on them?
No.
I don't think so.
Damn.
They didn't have any skins.
Well, what skins they did have were filled with water. Damn.
They said something about hot sauce that is similar, I think.
No, hot sauce is something that makes food spicy. You know, like the peppers you ate?
Ah, like peppers.
Hot sauce is made from mushing those up and adding liquid to them.
Liquid like alcohol.
No. Liquid like types of oils or watery substances.
I see. Okay. Okay. Thank you for teaching me how to make hot sauce.
Did you find anything else?
We found these tasty rocks.
Oh?
We didn't find too many, just a couple of them. But they taste... I don't know how to describe the taste of salty either.
Oh, that is salt. You can use it to preserve food.
Preserve food?
You take meat, crush that up, sprinkle it on top of the meat, and set it in a cold environment or a... How do I describe this? Smoky environment, and it makes the meat last longer before rotting.
Nobody likes rotting meat.
I don't have a preference, but I'd prefer it to not be. All things go into the melting pot. Anything else you wish to discuss?
Was I to order to throw everything into the melting pot? Because it sounded like order to throw everything in the melting pot. So
No, not right now. You can throw the corpses into the melting pot later. Give them to the brood, and they will deal with them accordingly. The rest, rocks and minerals and things you have found like that, stay here with the horde.
Yes. Yes, it's...
Boss, the shiny stopped being shiny. I don't understand, but the shiny stopped being shiny.
The shiny stop being shiny?
Yeah, the clear boxes stopped being shiny.
Ah, the clear box. But, it's not shining anymore.
What are you talking about, clear box?
I'll pick up and show the clear box that we also found that I forgot about. It was super shiny before. Like really bright shiny. Now it's not.
That's a lantern. It produces light.
Lanterns that produce light like the sun?
Kind of. More like fire. Like the things that keep you warm at night on cold winter nights.
Why is it in this clear box?
When a fire is added to a small clear box like that, which is glass, by the way, made from sand. When a fire is added to that small box, you can brighten up more of an area than just a fire can, because it points the light in one that word's too big, in one direction. But it needs flammable oil to operate correctly, which is why the flame died, because it ran out of oil.
How do you get more oil?
The dwarves should have had some with them, but if they didn't, you have to find or make it, which we are not capable of at the moment. And unnecessary, as you can see in the dark.
I did think that it was weird and not very useful.
The light more than likely was used to differentiate. That's a big word. The light was used to see things like different colors, like blue and green. When you're in the dark, all you see is gray or like weird shapes, right?
That's right.
When you use the light, you can change that to where you can see in the dark blues and greens and things like that.
I was like, used to see different colored rocks.
That's the attempt, Arik. Yes, that is more than likely what the dwarves are using, because they can also see in the dark. Anyway, it is around that time for you to start getting dinner. And you need to get rest. You did good. I am proud of your hunt.
Thank you. I don't know how to express the feeling of admiration that he is feeling.
Starry-eyed.
Starry-eyed, that would work. Just give us a little bow.
And he just kind of nudges you with his claw. Go along now. You're very welcome.
Thank you. I'll just go start taking the bodies to the brood mothers. Maybe. Wherever we store bodies.
Taking them to the brood mothers would work.
Yeah.
And then, once given, they start the process. to prepare them for tomorrow's meal. And you have dinner, which consists of just mushrooms and whatever leftovers there were from the melting pot this morning, and get ready for sleep. Days and weeks go by, much the same as that day there. You go out, you raid, or go out and hunt, or go out and find new and exciting things to try in the melting pot. After a few weeks, a large commotion happens at the entrance to the cave, which wakes you and the rest of your clutch up. What do you do?
It's a large commotion that doesn't sound like a typical waking up going to...
It sounds like a large battle is taking place.
I'm grabbing my weapons and running towards it.
Upon arrival, you are greeted by about 20 or so decently armored individuals. So much so that when you see some of your other kobolds stabbing their bone or stone daggers into them, they break on contact with these individuals' clothing. You see every once in a while a couple of your kobold brethren pounce on them and are able to bite through but never really pierce flesh. It doesn't seem like these things can bleed. But they look like humans.
So we got raided by humies?
Looks that way. Currently, it looks as if your home is being raided by humies.
What did we do with the pickaxes?
They were left at the horde area.
I can't go take them.
I wouldn't say that, because he didn't put them in his horde. They were just left close to the horde. More so like I don't think you understand how to use these, so I'm gonna keep them here so you don't hurt yourself. Also, dogs are barking. I'll give me 1 second.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like I was saying, you have like the pickaxes and a few like they look like sword type things, or dagger like stabby type things, but they're made of a similar material, just shiny, whereas the pickaxes were not.
Is the dragon still over there?
He is asleep on his horde currently.
And these are separate from the horde a little bit. So
yeah,
I'm sure he won't mind if I just take 1 or 2.
Yeah, I mean what you do, what you gotta do.
Yeah. I think this will work. So I'll grab one of those stabby sword-like things and a pickaxe.
The pickaxe you have to two-hand if you try to use it, because it's heavy.
Yeah. I'll grab the sword thing as backup in case it does not work.
Okay, understandable.
The pickaxe what I saw being used, so that's my first go-to.
Fair enough. All right, you grab the pickaxe and the stabby metal stick thing and rush in. You swing the pickaxe and roll for hit. It's very unbalanced and very unwieldy. Do not add proficiency modifier just yet.
I have 18 on the die, so I'm just saying
okay. Full plate armor is 18 flat anyway. Got it.
Oh.
This does go off of strength, and they do a D8 damage, so go ahead and roll damage as you watch as this pickaxe does pierce through the armor of this Humi that is raiding you. And the shock and surprise on their face is palpable.
So a D8 plus strength?
Yes.
5 total.
5 total?
Yeah.
Upon that piercing wound to the side of his armor, like right at the thigh area, he falls down to one knee and looks very, very not okay. You can, but it's not going to do what you think it's going to do. I'm asking the same question in my head.
I didn't want to interrupt your description.
You could just wait, and then when my description's done, you go, hey, can I do this? Anyway. He asked, by the way, for those people who may be listening, can he spit on them?
I know we do not have class features yet.
Correct.
So I was asking about my racial feature.
Like I said,
yeah.
You have about 15. You have your racial feature, if that's what you're talking about.
That's part of the racial feature, I think.
Yeah, if like your race, everything you get from your race, you have. You're just not a class level yet.
Oh, so I can spit on them.
Yes.
Oh.
If that's what you're talking about, yes, that will do something. Absolutely. And it is acid damage, if that matters to you at all.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for explaining.
Yes, sir. I thought you were talking about because you have like a Komodo dragon's type bite.
No.
I'm like, why are you trying to spit on people? What the fuck? I forgot that new kobolds get fucking a breath weapon type bullshit.
It's a sorcery spell. that I just flavored to be acid spit
Well,
instead.
you're fine. Go ahead.
I didn't actually write down what it does. I think they make a dex safe.
Look it up. I don't know. I don't have the ability to look it up. I don't have the book where that's from.
Blah, 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 blah. I can choose a creature or two creatures within 5 feet of each other, and they make dex saves.
Okay. You want one or two?
God damn it.
2.
Alright.
It's not in the player handbook.
It is.
What?
Acid splash.
Oh, it's a fucking spell. I'm stupid. Never mind. What's the number they gotta beat?
13?
Look at that. They only rolled 12. Full damage marks.
Ooh. It's just D6.
I mean, D6 is a lot.
D6, which is enough. I rolled a 6.
All right. You do your thing. I'm assuming one of them is the one you hit with the pickaxe, and another one's a different guy.
Yeah.
The one you hit with the pickaxe, his face melts off, and the other one's armor kind of melts away and gets a little bit of his flesh, and he does not look good. And then shortly thereafter, upon melting away his armor, the kobolds go, "Chance to kill!" and kill. From there, the other kobolds kind of try to do the same thing to less success than you did. But they do start trying to drive them back without much success. As it seems, when you lessen the numbers of the humies that are in the cave system, more show up to assist in this fight. You're being pushed back into where the dragon itself is sleeping, and before you know it, you fall unconscious after being hit by one of the humies.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing you see is the dragon waking up as you're being dragged out of the cave. All right, and that's your session 0. How you doing?
Feeling all right. I just have a singular question.
What's up?
Were these short humies?
No.
Like the dwarves were short humies, or just
No,
medium-sized humies?
you would recognize dwarves at this point. That was a okay.
All right.
I
I mean, you could keep this in as part of the end of the session.
yeah. But these were absolutely humans. We'll roll back time a little bit, and I'll let you roll a perception or investigation check, your choice, just upon seeing them at first.
Perception and 15, I think. Yeah.
Okay. They look like there's a little like emblem on their chest piece, and it looks like the same emblem that you saw on the cart that you raided a couple days ago. It just had a couple of humies on it.
See. Humies rated.
And that's about it. And then we go back into time, and we're out.
I fought to the very end.
Yes, sir.